Broadcasting live from the gathering place on the plane of Earth 616, this is Tap Tap Concede. Today on the podcast, we're doing a mid-2026 check-in on all things main Magic set. Joining us today, it's going to be myself, along with Kathleen and Cameron.
Hi.
Hello.
And the podcast is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Thank you for supporting us at Card Kingdom. Check out that affiliate link, cardkingdom.com/LRR. That lets them know we sent you and get all of your various card needs. You can get sealed product within the States if it's this year's sealed product, and you can get signals. You can get draft signals anywhere. You can get singles all over the world. If you let them know we sent you in the comments and ask for a little button, you'll get a little 1-inch button that we don't know what it says right now because so many of you have ordered that button that we've sold out. They will give you a button of some kind. We're just not sure which one, but thank you very much for all your support there. The podcast is also brought to you by Dragon Shield. Use code LRRMTG5 when checking out Dragon Shield to get 5% off. Use Dragon Shield to protect your cards. They're pretty much the best in the business. And finally, but last but not least, it's patreon.com/loadingrayrun. Everyone who goes over there helps everything we do here. So thank you very much, everyone at patreon.com, for keeping the lights on and keeping us doing our best to say funny little cute witticisms and dropping knowledge on y'all. Okay, so at time of recording, it is July of 2026.
Yes.
We are approximately halfway through the year. And for today's episode, I would just like to move through the 4 sets we've already had, starting from way back in January, try to recall our various thoughts, and then maybe spend a little time at the end of the episode just sprinkling in some, various hype, maybe curiosities, hopes, and dreams that we have for the remaining sets coming up. So, to remind you, the 4 sets we've already played with this year are Lore When Eclipsed, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secrets of Strixhaven, and of course, quite recently, Marvel Superheroes. So, Lore When Eclipsed, hotly anticipated. We had to wait about 20 years to get back into this plane. And I want to give a shout out to Wizards for continuing their partnership or whatever it is with the Jim Henson Company, because Squen and Craig continue to stump for Magic cards. Like, they have kept using these puppets to make more ads, and that is a really solid. Whoever's idea was to be like, when Lauren comes back, we need to hook up with the Jim Henson Company. Like, magical work.
Well,
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Cameron.
Oh, I was just going to say I wouldn't have missed it if they weren't here, but now that they're here, I want more.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. I feel that there is a really great crossover between the kinds of people who like buying Magic cards and the kind of people who like the Muppets. Because I think that there's I think genuinely, I think a lot of millennials have nice childhood-shaped Muppet memories.
Yeah.
And we like Muppets, and the Jim Henson Company just, in this current moment, the handmade, very crafted nature of them is very antithetical to a lot of the slick AI advertising you get. So it feels kind of nice, emotionally for you on a couple different vectors. And I think it's I think it's by far the highest performing Wizards advertisement thing they've ever done.
I would have to guess,
because people just, like I said, people like Muppets for those reasons, and they're fun and they're charming. And if I'm gonna have to have something say buy a Magic card at me, I kind of prefer it to be like a goofy weird puppet, honestly.
Yeah.
If it's not one of your coworkers at a
or a member of Loading Ready Run.
Yeah, but no, I mean those are awesome stills. I hadn't even seen those yet. This is some more cool card. Are these card backs you're showing us, Graham?
These are Arena exclusive card sleeves.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Graham is on tech.
Oh, hi.
Graham is on tech. I remembered.
Yeah, no, the dark crystal or labyrinth kind of feel that these puppets have. Yeah, it tickles something deep within me, and most of the time I'm like, I don't mind being advertised to by a corporation using this vector.
It's fun. It's lighthearted. It feels good in the current moment. It hits the right nostalgia buttons. I'm not surprised this has been a big hit, and I'm really glad that Wizards is keeping on doing it.
Yeah.
We might have Squen and Craig for a long time now.
Honestly, if Squen and Craig stick around longer than me, I'm
means
fine
we
with
might
it.
get a return to Lorwyn again, right?
Maybe, or maybe they'll just get immediately they had, Squen and Craig pitching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards, right? Like
Well,
right after.
but the thing is, how they did that. This is going to be our longest segment, I think. Is talking about this.
Okay.
Is because there was that collation mix-up. Remember, because they got
they
TMNT
got
rares.
Squin and Craig to turn that into a joke. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was a if you missed it, but I think everybody's doing what Nelson did, which was just gasp and memory.
Yeah.
TMNT rares got mixed into the Lorwyn Eclipse pre-release kits. So you'd open your Lorwyn Eclipse clip and you would have a TMNT rare, which usually wasn't great because it didn't synergize very well with the set.
Yeah, and I mean, it's
kind
not
of feel bad.
Well, it's also just not what you came for, and clearly was a mistake on somewhere in the Wizards production chain. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not. I actually don't want to say Wizards. Some sort of outside partner. It's not like Wizards owns the warehouses.
Sure, I just mean it's their responsibility to get you the cards you paid for.
Yeah, the buck stops somewhere. But it's like
so they had Squin and Craig do a very cute thing about them, being doing the I Love Lucy production line mishap kind of joke, right? Mm-hmm. It was cute and it was good, and it was a way to be like, hey, we see you and we hear you, and they've kind of continued.
If I can also offer my favorite detail there, which I know we discussed on streams at some point, but they made a joke with Craig with opening the TMNT pack, and they were like, "Oh, cool! There's TMNT cards in here. That's neat," or whatever, and then making a joke of it, and then they had Craig go "Cowabunga" in the Master Splinter voice, because the puppeteer for Craig is the same Henson puppeteer that was the voice of Splinter in the first two TMNT movies.
Yeah, that's so wild.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, I guess that community is probably fairly compact.
Yes, I would imagine. That's a very skilled position.
Yeah.
A finite number of Jim Henson Company players, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, these two little puppets just go right through my shielding around most advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
No, ditto. I'm not used to letting a Magic ad finish when I'm on social media, because it's like, well, I generally, by the time the ads hit my feed, I kind of already know everything. But even if I didn't, it'd be like, well, I'll pick it up when I go to the shop. I'm too invested to need these ads that nevertheless get served to me, because my algo knows I'm going for Magic cards.
Yeah. I wonder if this is what it felt like to watch those. What were the coffee ads in the 1990s with the evolving soap opera adjacent plotline?
Oh yeah.
You mean the one with the siblings? Or?
No.
I think that was an outgrowth in the 2000s.
Okay.
If you don't know what we're talking about, good.
Yeah, it's better for you.
Paying attention to advertising is not great.
Long goblin. No, different one.
No, that one has that one you're like, oh, at the end. The siblings one, you're like, no.
Yeah, don't like this.
Okay, coming back to Lorwyn though. Now we've given them props for their ad campaign. What about the cards? Is anyone still playing anything with Blight?
I mean, I love this limited environment.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was good or not, but I really enjoyed drafting it. The Goblin deck made me extremely happy for reasons that are related to my personality. Even though I think the consensus on the Goblin deck was that they were the weakest.
I think if you had a Goblin deck that really worked, it was kind of an outlier. But
yes.
the things that everyone acknowledged, if you get all three parts on the table and you untap with them, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
you probably win unless I have Sunderfolk or Sunderflock or whatever.
But I will say, I think most of the other factions, you really only needed two of the three things, and you were fine.
Yeah, it was much easier to put together than an Elf synergy
or a Merfolk. Merfolk synergy was really good in this set.
Yeah, that one Merfolk rare, there was the cycle of rares that rewarded you for doing the thing, and the Merfolk one that kept something tapped down.
Right.
Yeah.
Forever was unpleasant.
What I like about the Merfolk one is that there's a Merfolk that on first brush with the set, I was like, this seems like it's not very good, and they made it a safe cost, but it was like a 2/2 that came with a 1/1 for 4 or 5 and had Convoke or something like that. And I was like, woof, this seems a little overcosted for what you're getting, right?
And
no, and it was so bananas good.
But the 2/2 has Vigilance and Flying.
Yes,
right?
That was it. Yeah.
There we are. Okay, but I want to say, look at how well I remembered this card.
Nice.
Mana cost, what it did, that to me is the sign of a successful format. And I will say, as a Vorthosy person, I remember these sets better because they have a story and characters.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is, something that we will talk about later. But when there is a narrative through line to help reinforce the themes of your set, and it's not just an unrelated pile of magic cards, like there is some kind of like intentionality to like how these factions are portrayed and stuff like that, and these things that sort of like builds within itself and is like not just referential to things that you already know. I think that actually helps you absorb knowledge of the set and like find little angles for your brain to hook into it that aren't necessarily just raw mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get another layer of understanding and meaning behind why the cards are there, and maybe helps you kind of absorb the whole experience more easily.
Yeah, I genuinely think that having a story related to it is a gameplay aid and an understanding aid for people. Maybe not for your super pro people who just want to look at those mechanics, who are just like, no, I don't need art, I don't need names, I just need you to tell me what the card does. Like some pros are like that. But for your more casual players, it's like, yeah, these are the merfolk and like that's their deal, right? You know, that's helpful.
Yeah, there's a conceit that is consistent among a color identity.
Yep.
And a draft strategy.
Yep.
Cool. Perfect.
Yep.
The more hooks I can get into.
Yeah, I read the flavor text and I see a quote from a character, and then I see the character, and it kind of helps me remember, and I see that these two cards are related, and it's all like a learning. I've talked about this before.
all the elements of the card design are synergizing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really know what the consensus was
about the sort of quality or like where Lorwyn Eclipse fits in the echelon of limited formats.
Yes,
that's kind of what you're thinking.
But I enjoyed it.
Sure.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. I also liked it. We're giving it a pass.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pass-fail system.
Yeah, we might not grade any of the other sets we talk about today, but Lorwyn's getting a pass.
How about thumbs up? Give it a
thumbs up.
I feel like pass is not enthusiastic enough because I actually really liked it. I had fun playing it. I remembered the cards. I liked the flavor. I like Lorwyn. I want to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this weirdo was in it.
Oh, the art was so good in this set.
Yeah. Oh, I love these.
It's just charming.
Yeah.
A really charming set.
I mentioned this card already.
That is a great word for it.
Yeah, I mentioned this card already. The card I've seen come up the most from Lorwyn that I've noticed is the blue elemental Sunderflock. And that had like a deck designed around it. There were some other elementals, I think, from the set. Maybe they play the Mana Dork one. The Smoke Braider kind of came back as Flame Braider, I believe. But I can't remember which all were the other most important elementals that went into this standard deck. I haven't played it myself, but I know that this effect of bouncing all of the creatures that you don't control is something that the standard players, this met the threshold of like, okay, it's an expensive card, kinda. It has a cost reducer, but it's an expensive card. But the ability is powerful enough that we're willing to go up to 5 mana for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I'm always happy to see an elemental deck in standard. By which I mean, I remember the last time there was an elemental deck in standard that I remember. It was a miserable experience. It was that Teamer one.
Oh, okay.
That dipped into the core set. That was built in the last time we were around Zendikar.
Oh,
so many years ago now.
Right.
But it was just like one of the ones where it's like, I play this guy, I find a land, I draw a card, goodbye. Right?
Right.
I have no recollection of this.
It's probably for the best, but hey, elementals, they're little guys. How did it impact other extended formats? I remember there's some excitement around the Black Mythic. Or was it a mythic?
The big flyer or the
Moonshadow?
Moonshadow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you could power out on like theoretically turn 2 or 3.
Right.
In the correct, like with a Highlander God hand.
So if you're playing,
I remembered that. Sorry, I just
no worries.
Good work. Yeah, thank you.
Well done. If you're playing a format where Phyrexian Dreadnought is legal, you'll probably go to it first because it's a 12/12 trample. It's a better clock than 7/7 Menace. But this could be in there as well for extra chances or whatever if you're trying to do some sort of sneak the 7/7 into play. Like this is a static ability versus a triggered ability on the Dreadnought. So the approach is a little different. But either way, you've got to do like thing that, a card or set of cards or whatever that stops my creature from getting counters on it. Or getting sacrificed or whatever it is, and allows me to have a big creature for cheap. And the only time I actually have run into it was also in standard with Likeness Looter, which came from the last Eldraine set. So it's a 2 mana, I think 1/1 flyer. Yeah, but you can pay mana to make it become a copy. But because this ability works after you
It doesn't
already entered battlefield, it doesn't get the -1/-1 counter. So for 3 mana, you can make your creature into a 7/7 menace, but you have to get your
Moonshadow into the
bin
graveyard
first. Yeah, however you do that. I haven't seen too many older decks, although Moonshadow has made an appearance in Highlander. I'm not sure if there's like a modern or legacy deck trying to make Moonshadow work, but certainly this card, we basically looked at it and we're like, well, we already like the Stalactite Stalker from Lost Caverns of Ixalan, which is a 1/1 menace for 1 that just gets bigger once at the end of the turn if you descended.
Yes.
And then has another ability, I think, where it can trade for a creature or something. This one doesn't have the third ability, but
it's a lot easier to get online.
It can get bigger faster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one can kill another creature for 3 mana.
Okay.
That theory, if the goblin's big enough. But the Moonshadow, you can make it bigger multiple times per turn. So yeah, I've tinkered with it in Canadian Highlander. I'm not the only one. So it's definitely at least in contention for like, Jund aggro or whatever. People are trying it, and I think the jury is probably still out.
Nice. All right.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Set 2.
TURT LE Power. What are our memories? I can remember Agent Bishop being a big deal at the PPR. Do you remember this one? 2 and a white for a 1/2 legendary creature that gets 2 +1/+1 counters on your creatures at the beginning of each combat.
Yeah, I remember that card.
This card was pretty wild. If you didn't have a kill spell for it immediately.
Controversial opinion. I thought this set played really well.
I liked all the pizza artifacts.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool cycle.
They were cute. This set does a couple of, I think I'm probably not unique among Magic players in that I've, kind of soured on Universes Beyond over time, that I've just kind of gotten worn down by it. Yeah. I used to be fairly sanguine about it, right? They're Magic cards, whatever.
The first few years were easier to take than the last couple of years. Yeah.
And as much as I enjoyed how the set played, I found myself demoralized by it.
Okay.
I guess is the my takeaway. Also, I'm not a huge fan of so many legendary creatures everywhere. I don't know what it is about it.
Yeah, we kind of had that in Final Fantasy last year. We were sort of warmed up to it, but it's like if the majority of your pack is legendary creatures there's 2 crimes, right? One is and I don't know, crime is probably the wrong word, but it's like legendary creatures that are characters from the series you've never heard of, or multiple versions of the same character in legendary. And it seems like, I can remember the first time this happened. I don't remember which set it was. It was a year or 2 ago, but it was probably Spider-Man.
I mean, multiple copies of legendary creatures have been present in Magic since Brothers War. Certainly had them.
Oh, you're right. Brothers War did it.
Yeah, I was about to say. Actually, we got this. This was, I believe, this is a Universes Within treatment because they've been using it as a way to show the same character as they progress on their story. So, for example, in Brothers War, you have young Urza and Mishra, and then you have an uncommon middle-aged Urza and Mishra, and you have the mythic ones, that's the merge Mishra. Right. That is the mythic one. So you can sort of see his journey. And we had this in EOE as well. We had Tanuk before he made the bad mistake that wasn't a mistake, but it was a mistake to his people, etc.
Right.
And then after, that's right.
It was EOE. That's what I was trying to remember. This was the set where I noticed it happening. There's multiple Halias and multiple Servandums.
There's 2, right? You see the before. You see sort of how they're changed by the set.
Yeah.
I kind of like if there's a narrative purpose to it, and I can understand that the more powerful version is the second one, the later one, and the uncommon one is the earlier one. I kind of don't mind it as a storytelling tool.
Yeah, okay. I think it can definitely work, but it's just going to land better with players who are more familiar with the subject matter. So, if you read the EOE story before this set came out...
That's so good, you should read it.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't read the EOE story, or I haven't yet. But, obviously that's going to make the experience of playing both Taniks more flavorful, more enjoyable for you. If you haven't played or watched or read any TMNT and you see like 4 different Donatellos, it's just like, okay, I've kind of got fatigued because I'm not used to this with Magic cards, right?
Yeah, and I will say with the Ninja Turtles, it is a little bit of a different thing because these are references. And they could be referenced that I do not understand to like specifically notable TV shows or development in the comic books because I want to say that this set did a really great job of like taking the source material and designing a thoughtful Magic set around it. I just don't care that much about Turtles, right? I don't get it. It's just like, here's another Donatello, here's another Raphael, and they're all at like different rarities and they're all like the same characters and I can't tell the difference. And because there's multiple of them and we're talking like 4 characters, then it's not like me going, oh yeah, this one he's a baby on it, this one he's a teenager, and this one he's old, right? Even if I don't know the story, I can see that they get older. They all look the same to me. Right. I lose track.
This is kind of the inverse of what you were talking about earlier with Lore and Eclipse.
Yeah.
Where it feels like there's just not... Ironic for a Universes Beyond set that is based on a very, like, you know, a universe with decades of its own storytelling.
Yes.
But there's not enough narrative hook and not enough, like...
Every narrative hook is, do you remember that thing?
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah. Something external or extrinsic instead of intrinsic to the set.
Exactly.
And I just kind of, like, slip off of it.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever had, this is related to something I was showing you earlier, if you've ever had pasta that someone has rinsed and there's no starch left on it anymore, and the sauce just like falls.
It's just like very slippery. Yeah. Okay.
That's how I feel kind of like with these cards, in spite of the fact that like once you have built your deck for a limited environment. I mean, I'm a limited player, so my experience is going to be heavily biased towards that experience. Once I've drafted a deck, once I've put it together, TMNT played really well.
It played well.
Yeah.
The cards were all like good and powerful. Like I remember we were doing the Chaos events in Vegas.
Okay.
Actually, I was the only one here, so I'll say that there was TMNT packs in the Chaos events at Vegas. Mm-hmm. And people were a little less excited because it's Chaos, but it's more recent sets because it's what the vendors have on hand. People were like less excited to see the TMNT cards. But of course, because I did both of our Chaos events, I could report back for the second one. I was like, the TMNT cards are cracked and limited though. And like I warned my table and people were like, oh, these are like the cards in the set are really good and the set plays well.
Right.
Like it's a good set. Right. And it like, yeah, there's just really decent good cards in it. And but I feel like people are just less interested in them because of they're kind of like me. They're like, I don't know this IP. This is way more niche than like Lord of the Rings and Marvel and Final Fantasy. Like, is this a good choice for a Magic card set?
Graham found like the perfect example here.
Yeah.
Dream Beavers, I remember during the PPR, we were like, if you could just have these in swamps, your deck would be totally busted.
Yeah.
Right? Like, sure, you lose to Hurly Burly, but that's true of every deck. But no one knows what episode Dream Beavers is from, right? Like, did we have one person that was I remember the Dream Beavers from this comic issue?
I made some comments that were kind of related to that like, I don't know where this is from. And there were many people who were like, no, this is from this.
Right.
It occurred here.
Yeah.
I know this. This is important to me. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But like,
you don't have to tell me in chat, but we acknowledge that like for the TMNT
comments
enjoyers.
Below.
Comments below.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Comments below. For the TMNT enjoyers, though, it's like, yeah, this set was kind of a banger. If you had that narrative connection to it, the cards were strong.
There's genuine love and care put into the references and finding them and incorporating them. Like I have to say, like I know, like I'm like. On one hand, I'm like, I didn't care much for it. Not because it was bad, but just because I'm not emotionally invested in the way that and it's not the kind of thing where I can like learn the story like I can with like Brothers War or Lore and Eclipse.
Yes. Yeah, right.
There's
like
too much for an entry point.
There isn't like one 10-chapter novel you can pick up to be like, okay, now I know everything about this set worth of TMNT cards.
There's no 10 episode web fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Novella, right?
Yeah,
that is kind of like a brisk evening read.
Yeah, but But that's not the point of it. The point of it is to say, look at all this great turtle stuff you remember and love.
Yes.
Right?
Agreed.
It's not telling me an independent story.
Yeah. It is exogenous to
Perfect word. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below what exogenous means. I will appreciate
Outside.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact, the Dream Beavers appear in one episode of the animated series.
Okay.
And they're sort of inspired by / parodies of Freddy Krueger to the extent that they kill you in your dreams.
Oh, yes.
Which is why the biggest one on the card in the show is voiced by Robert Englund.
That's
very funny.
wow. Awesome. So okay,
these are great facts.
Yeah. That's really cool. That is cool. Yet another layer of reference going on.
It's a good pick for a magic card.
Yeah. It's a great card with an interesting lore hook that glides off my brain.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said before, I think it's a well-designed set that plays well and is mechanically interesting and does a good job does a really loving job capturing its source material considering how deep they went. It's like this was in one cartoon episode. But I don't know if it was a good thing to make a magic set out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is going to speak to, was this year make or break for Universes Beyond? I think is this is a set or a year where we've had Turtles and Marvel superheroes so far. Then we're also getting The Hobbit and Star Trek later.
I just realized something. The reason why Turtles does not work as a magic card set, but Avatar: The Last Airbender does, despite the fact me having zero comprehension of the storyline, is that the storyline for Avatar is a complete 60 episodes or whatever it is.
It is like Lord of the Rings.
It's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's,
there's one story.
Yeah, it's one story. Right?
Yeah.
It's like EOE scale thing. This is, EOE is a little bit smaller in scale because it's one magic set, but you can represent the entirety of that story in a set because it is so self-contained. The only thing they did was Avatar. There was maybe a few Korra reference cards and additional sets, but the main set was focused on telling the story of the show, and it landed really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a discrete event.
I do want to give a shout out to Krang actually because
that
before we
card
move
is
on,
a Shredder and Krang.
well, there's five. I was saying
Krangs.
that all the turtles are giving me fatigue because it's the same character and I have to keep them distinct and all these different magic cards. But with Krang, it's okay because in the show and if you can just look at it, you're like, oh, this is a weird little squid brain thing that just moves into different robot bodies. Yeah, so you can make 5 different Krangs in your set, and it's like, well, yeah. Because he goes into battle and then that body breaks. Well, not this one because it's indestructible, but his body breaks and then he goes Shredder, build me a body, and then he gets himself another body and then he moves into that. It's the same guy, just different bodies. Obviously, it's the same thing with different episodes, but
yeah, I was thinking of the Krang and Shredder card. That's this one.
Oh yeah, this one's
card's
also a banger.
banana.
All of Krang's cards are great. I like all of these ones.
Yeah. There's just 3 of them.
So yeah, I guess it's the Shredder, the Turtle set ends up being more like a core set where it's just a list of cards from the vast diaspora or whatever, the long chronicle of all the different Turtles comics. And I should point out, because the cards show you this too, not even all of these comics happen in the same millennia. They travel through time and stuff sometimes. Mostly they're in 1980s and 1990s New York, but then also there's space aliens from the future and they go back to feudal Japan in the medieval ages and stuff. So it's core set kind of detached from each other.
Yeah.
All right. So, but the Limited was good.
Yeah.
The Limited was good. So I'm conflicted about this, right?
Okay.
Is it thumbs up or thumbs down? I mean, yeah, thumbs aside. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving it a tentative thumbs up because I want to say the way that we judge magic sets now is nothing like the way we would have judged magic sets 15 years ago. And I've been playing for a really long time. So if I am really honest and I put Magic the Gathering X Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles across the table from Weatherlight, I'm like, okay, but I can draft the turtles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I open 3 packs of turtles, I can make a deck.
That would probably be pretty darn good.
You know what I mean?
It's a good
So I
set.
really want to give Modern Magic Design a little bit of credit.
Yeah. I just had the thought where it's like, man, this set is really coasting by on its well-designed mechanics and gameplay experience. If it didn't have those things, I don't know, man. And it's like...
Yeah.
And that's essentially what the card is.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is just shash. The pros don't care about it. They just want to see, give me the numbers, give me the abilities, right? And from a numbers and abilities point of view, good set.
Yeah, it's an elegant, like the mechanics are reasonably elegant.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's why it's not a bad set.
No.
There's zero factor in where this makes sense. But I don't personally resonate it with it. So
I think it's a mid or median experience for me.
Let's move
overall.
Let's move.
it's better than not playing Magic, but it's never going to be my first choice.
Let's move out of winter and into middle spring now and talk about Secrets of Strixhaven.
Strixhaven, return to our favorite plane, return to our magic fiction. I just want to point out, you can see behind me, we have our our advanced reader's copy of Secrets of Strixhaven on here on the set. I was very hyped because it's one of my favorite settings. I love non-bigot Wizard School.
Wizard School is exciting.
Wizard School should be exciting, yeah.
Wizard School for adults? What an even better idea.
I enjoy the academy. I have many fond memories of university. I went to it twice.
You do have 2 full degrees.
I do. Welcome to my magic podcast.
Magic and Gathering.
Yes.
Yeah. The 5 schools are back, the same schools, and they each have draft decks in a few different flavors, right? And my experience with them, I remember specifically when Spider-Man came out, and it was like, oh, there's only 5 draft archetypes. And for several sets in a row, many sets in a row, we had been getting 10, and like 10 was like you can draft each
color
Magic
pair
set
was...
is going to have a list of uncommons that's 10 different cards or 30 or whatever that are like signposts in gold, or it might be like combine 10 gold cards with like 10 more cards that are one color but like very clearly leading you to that other color.
There's like sub-decks,
Yeah.
if not full archetypes. There's like, that you could. It's mostly like green, but you could do some green-white.
Right.
And there's just enough of that, right?
Right. In Strixhaven, you mean? Yeah. But the design obviously is like draft the enemy color pairs.
Yes.
Right? And in my own experience, I found the Spider-Man set last year when there was just 5 sets. I was like, oh, that's really off-putting because I'm used to being able to draft any color pair I want. But then I think about it, it's like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, the first Secrets of Strixhaven also only had 5 draft archetypes. And theoretically,
Original Ravnica
only had 4.
Also,
right?
when we were doing, like, a few years ago, Ravnica Allegiance and Guilds of Ravnica.
Yeah.
Right? Those only had 5.
Yeah, those were only 5.
And I really liked those
more
sets.
fleshed out than in Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to call myself out on one of my like sort of knee-jerk reactions is like, oh, they should all have, every set should have 10 draft archetypes. Like, no, Nelly, like, let's be honest with history.
Yeah,
here.
no,
Many
I'm
sets have
fully
only
on board with you.
Had
like,
5 or less. Yeah.
I made that same complaint, and I think it was pointed out to me
Okay, fair enough.
that, no, Strixhaven had 5, Guilds of Ravnica had 5, Ravnica Allegiance had 5.
Yeah,
Like,
this isn't a UB thing.
just
like multiple
Amun
characters.
Cat
Right.
Yeah.
had 5.
Yeah, they're all the single colors. Many core sets are like blue, red, and like have that like sort of what you're talking about, like that sort of like a little bit of like a signpost on common in 2 colors and some support for it, but not a full.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So maybe this is just a symptom of me hunting for something to dislike
No, I think
about an environment or a set I wasn't fond of.
No, I'm going to say that those draft archetypes in Spider-Man were not differentiated and fleshed out enough, and that was the issue. Is that like it just there was I think a mechanical issue with it that we don't need to litigate.
With my criticism being rationalized. I love that.
Yeah,
exactly.
But back to Strixhaven.
I want my view to be supported. I don't want to argue and think about your view.
Back to
you,
Strixhaven.
Kathleen. Yes.
Let's.
Yeah.
I am very biased. I really like the set. I read all the web fiction. I had a great time. I was happy to go to the setting. I enjoyed the redesign that we got a slightly different look to like the Inklings and stuff like that. They look a little bit less
the fractals are different.
Yeah. Like we just, it was just like a little freshed up take. We didn't completely go back to the well on like everything. And it was nice to see what was going on. And I enjoyed it immensely.
Did we remind me, we got lesson cards, but no learn cards this time, right? Is that what happened? Or did we get lessons in another set this year?
We got lessons in Avatar.
Lessons in Avatar.
Which is...
And then we just get neither one in Strixhaven. It was like we don't have lessons and we don't have learn, whereas the first Strixhaven we had both.
It was, we had a lot.
We had prepared spells.
Yeah, we had preparative spells. Yeah.
Prepared spells.
Were really fun.
Pretty cool.
Love these.
Yeah.
What an interesting way of injecting all the broken cards of yesteryear into a standard safe environment.
But having them be pretty fair.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like
they're safe. These cards aren't busted.
The card that had DT stapled on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Emeritus of Woe. My love. My beloved. Like if
you just put it on a creature, that creature can even be kind of good.
Yeah.
She is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of has to, I think
she's like a juggernaut.
Yeah, she's very like the thing is like at I would say most of these prepared spells were actually like super duper fair, and maybe could have been pushed a little harder.
Oh, sure.
But
no, I
am actually fine with them erring on the side of let's not break this. Yeah, no, we can come back to it.
Yeah, I
this card. Graham put this up because he knows how much I love this.
Yeah,
card.
I was just thinking about this card. I'm like, they couldn't have made this card any better.
No, this card so good.
Yeah, this is this is just
card? Oh, sorry, right. For
our
audio listeners,
yes.
We're talking about Scathing Shadelock, 4 and a black for a 4/6 Snake Warlock that says at the beginning of your first main phase, this creature becomes prepared, and the prepared spell is called Venomous Words. 1 black mana for a sorcery that says target creature you control gets +2/+0 and Death Touch until end of turn.
Yeah, there were so many like little knobs where they could adjust how this mechanic worked, right? Like, did it enter prepared or not? Was there a condition where it could become re-prepared? Like, was the cost on the creature high to compensate for an aggressively costed prepared spell? Like, yeah. And I agree that they played it a little conservative.
Sure.
Bringing this mechanic back, or introducing this mechanic
spells,
to bring back some fairly like powerful effects.
Oh yeah.
So, if they play a little conservative at first, cool, because that implies when they bring it back, we're going to get a lot of cards that will need to be banned, which will be fun for me or my opponent.
Briefly. Until they're banned.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought that this set played well, was fun and interesting, had cool stuff, and I really liked it.
Yeah, great work from the team that worked on this.
There was also a secret 6th draft archetype.
Oh,
yes,
the 5-color
Converge.
Yes, actually, Converge. And that was also super great. There's some really fun Converge cards in there.
Graham put one of the uncommons on the screen. It's Transcendent Archaic, 7 mana for a 6/6 Vigilance Avatar creature with Converge. When this enters, you may draw X cards, where X is the number of colors a mana spent to cast a spell. If you draw 1 or more cards this way, discard 2 cards. So you really wanted to get at least 2 colors into this thing. Not too much of a problem for most draft decks, but yeah, hitting Converge by 7 mana of all 5 colors is pretty doable for all the decks that were trying to do it. So you end up drawing 5 and discarding 2. Not too shabby. And there was also one, I think, for only 6 mana, also at uncommon, that could exile a permanent, or maybe at least a creature. Thank you. Sundering Archaic. 6 mana for a 3/3, and it's 6 colorless, or 6 generic, but Converge, when it enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this. And this also had an ability for 2 generic, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. So you could exile stuff and also keep them off their reanimator plan or whatever. These Archaics were kind of the secret 6th archetype.
I don't know. We can talk more about cards, but my summary is that this makes, I think about this set and I'm like, yeah, everything I like this set. I liked everything about it, and it makes me go, when I think about it. And I'll be happy to go back to Strixhaven again.
Yeah, it's a decent formula they have, and both of them big mechanics they've introduced with both Strixhaven sets have been pretty swingy. Like they're pretty big swings. Learn was also a pretty big swing where it's like, whoa, what do you mean I can get a card out of my out of my sideboard?
That's tutoring effect.
That's usually effect? Too broken, like and then with prepared spells we saw Demonic Tutor and Ancestral Recall and Channel. It's like that's usually too broken. And it's like, well, they made it happen.
Yeah. Oh, studious first year. Yeah, Graham is just putting up these cards and I'm like, oh, what a banger. Oh, what a banger. Whoa, what a banger.
Yeah, no, this is one of the sets where I was able to just like spontaneously generate little jokes that made me happy and made my opponents vaguely annoyed, which we all love. And for this one, it was like studious first year, comes with rampant growth, and like the scout at his graduation is like, it's really more of a hero economy. Do you think you can pivot into casting a hero for me? And the studious first year is just like in tears, being like, I can go back and I can rewrite my thesis. I can do that for you.
I can get a degree in gathering to go with my degree in magic.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. I haven't been in a position where I'm like a fourth year and then trying to impress someone who's going to hire me for a job. I took a degree in music, so there was no chance of doing any job ever.
Right. There was no job waiting for you.
For the love of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could have been a concert trombonist.
I could have. If I worked about 10 times harder. Absolutely, I could have.
The first chair?
There you go. Yeah, there's both of those jobs in Victoria exist.
Yeah.
Nelson, your first trombone in my heart.
Aww, thank you.
I mean, I assume when you're first trombone, you spend less time on your phone doing most performances. Because, like, the joke you always hear about trombones is like, you count to 400 and then go blat, blat, blat.
Yeah.
Right? And you, like, give the... Who sits in front of you? Is it the...
We try not to give them a name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not going to live for very long is the problem, right?
It's often woodwinds, but it can be cellos as well.
Yeah. You blow a clarinetist in half with... Yeah.
It must be very loud to be in an orchestra.
Or if the director's
not
a real
if you're
sicko.
A trombone.
Well, the thing is, though, sometimes they put the trombones also right in front of the timpani, which can be, like, it's usually for less time, but then it can also be, like, really very, very loud.
Yeah, if you're doing, like, pops or something and, like, doing Holst the Planets.
I had one orchestra set up where they put the trombone strictly behind the French horns because they, I don't know, it was a weird room or something.
Yeah, you get
but then
the
it's like
blast off the horns.
The brass instruments are just like slamming into each other, and it's like the tuning becomes very difficult.
Oh, God.
We should get back to magic cards.
Yeah, you wind up with some weird strobing.
You can, Doppler effect or whatever. It depends on the parts.
All right.
You have to go bells up.
Anyways.
I was a French horn player.
Yeah. They didn't bring back the conductor character from the first one in the Commander deck, did they? I don't know if they saw another
band?
One. They had in Strixhaven, right?
Yeah.
Like they're the blue-red guild, the Prismari.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Prismari.
Zaffy and the Tempests. I think we did because Zaffy is back.
Zaffy is new. They're just with the Tempest. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
So yeah, first canonical picturing of like I'm going to say a progressive rock band on
I got more kind of like a hair metal vibe or a speed metal. Like this feels more like a Quiet Riot or
they're playing Filk. We know it.
What's Filk? I don't even know what that means.
That's like the folk music that you hear at a sci-fi convention.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Better than funk.
It's like folk music, but there's synthesizers involved or whatever. Or there's like a computer.
If you're going to be singing about Tom Bombadil or like, or fantasy conventions, stuff like that. This is where you're going to be hearing the tales of, hey, you know what? As an appreciator of music, talent, and lyricism, I'm not going to say that Filk is like necessarily my jam, but I'm not going to say it's as bad as it's made out to be.
And on that note, let's start talking about Marvel superheroes, the most recent set of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I've been really busy.
Okay.
I have not played much of this set, much Magic since this has come out. I have been working very hard on a different thing that is taking up all of my free time.
It's pretty recent still. This is like 3 weeks after pre-release at the time of recording.
Yeah, and like, again, it's a set that I think plays pretty well.
Okay.
And has enough of a cultural chokehold.
Right.
Or at least did a few years ago.
Yeah.
That I am like, oh, I know this guy.
Right.
Well, here's the deal. I looked at TMNT and was like, oh, I don't know her, right?
Sure.
I actually know a fair bit about Marvel.
Yeah,
I've read
those
some
movies
Marvel
are popular.
comics. Well,
Yeah.
the movies are popular. I've read some of the comics on recommendations for friends, although not all of the ones that were represented here.
That would be an undertaking.
I do, one of my hobbies is competitive trivia, and so like knowing pop culture stuff like Marvel superheroes and comic book stuff is kind of one of the areas that I focus on more than like my friends who will do like the sports trivia and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I've had a long sort of like understanding of like Marvel stuff. And so I did look at these and go, oh yeah, I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. But that's about as far as it went. I was like, I know who that is.
Yeah,
It wasn't the same as being like, and this is what their point in the set is.
Right. We've got another set that instead of telling a distinct story or giving you a snapshot of 1 week on life in the College of Strixhaven, it's more, this is a big list of lots of different characters and moments across lots of different distinct storylines. Right?
Yeah, I'm not learning something when I look at this set. I am recognizing something. But I am learning about the setting of Strixhaven and how it has changed when I look at the new cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I also kind of have like a Disney-based antipathy now towards Marvel.
Okay.
So this set was always going to have like an uphill fight with me, and I'm not sure it won me over. We've said I think of every set this year that it was actually pretty fun to play.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
And
think Magic is
now-
Playing Magic is great.
Yeah, and now the problem is that is no longer an exceptional thing. Right.
Yeah.
So when Marvel Superheroes comes along and it works, right, and you can put together a draft deck and have a positive experience with it, unfortunately for it, that's
a bare
no
minimum.
longer
Right.
Yeah. Now that's just kind of the floor, which is probably unfair to it. Right? Like it's a lot of hard work to get a set that works like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think anybody is saying any of these sets are like badly designed or the cards aren't
No, we're
good.
just looking
It's
for
just-
our thoughts to share.
It's just the emotional vibes. And I feel like it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I just think it's easier for me to glom onto something if I'm like, oh, interesting. This is what is going on. There's some storytelling and some mystery to excite my mind.
Yeah.
I found the villains were really good. Like,
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, the villain deck from the pre-release.
and any of the
great.
villains in Black X, you could be blue, you can be red.
You could-
Maybe you can be another color combo.
I've not had good success so far doing sealed, but you can build some very synergistic, very clever, very, very fun decks. It is a very swingy format, as with Final Fantasy, because it has so many legends in it that the cards, that if there are cool characters that people love, you have to do them justice, and they do have cool power sets in the comics that we want to represent on the cards. Otherwise, that's not a good marriage of the material. But then because you have all of these powerful creatures, then you have to have a ton of removal. So to me, it's one of those sets. And Final Fantasy was the same way, where it's like, I resolve this crazy thing, you remove it, then you resolve this crazy thing, and then I remove it, and then you resolve another crazy thing, and I don't have removal, so I lose.
Right. A bit
Or
like
vice
Commander.
versa.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I get it. I mean,
I don't like that.
I think Final Fantasy, in my head at least, a bunch of the powerful characters you were playing were like a chocobo or a job select equipment. And then there were legends as well, of course, but there were still non-legendary creatures that matter. And it's challenging to find a non-legendary creature in Marvel superheroes.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yeah.
the 2/4,
Okay.
that has essentially exalted, that one's really good.
Yes, I agree.
And whatever the tapper is, that the Raft Island Guard, you can
Okay.
pay 2 to tap something, or 1 if it's got power. Raft Security
Raft
Officer.
security officer.
Yeah, I liked the Orzhov shield deck.
Yes.
I thought it was an interesting design space that we haven't seen around. Don't see around a lot.
Yeah, it was black white attack alone, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like this is a set with 10 draftable archetypes.
Right? Yeah.
That's another big thing in its favor, and it just like glided frictionlessly right off my attention.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate, because I think if you had like anything else with it, it would have grabbed me a lot more. But now with that Marvel wrapping around it, or that like the Marvel skeleton to it,
Yeah.
just kind of like made me not care.
I mean, would you care more if instead of being like Raft Security Officer, it was Orzhov Prelit?
Yeah, probably.
Or something, right?
Yeah.
If it was like Basilica Thrall and it had the exact same mechanics.
Yeah, I would be like on board.
This card's exciting. I like what it does. It makes my brain tingle. What if I have a similar question? Go with me on this journey. It's still Raft Security Officer, but the MCU didn't really happen. Like they made the Avengers and it kind of flopped, and then they made 2 more movies and then they stopped. And so it's like the source material, you're like no more aware of the movies than you are kind of like the comic books, which did all the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I know Turtles has been going on for a long time. It's had a lot of like successes recently. They put out a lot of movies. I haven't interacted with it since the 90s. Right. So if Marvel didn't have that kind of
presence in culture, right?
In culture, would I feel differently about it?
Yeah.
Similar to the way that I feel about Turtles, even though Turtles has a presence in culture. Maybe I would have more warm feelings about it if I associated it more strongly with a pleasant time in my life.
Yeah, because you mentioned the Disney-based antipathy, and I think that's probably a somewhat common sentiment where you're like, well, this card looks cool, and I actually like the character of Thor or whatever, but I'm kind of over it. I've been bombarded with Marvel too much, so I just kind of want to be grouchy about it. And I think it's like, well, actually, like the source for all these is really the comics to begin with. You know, it's not like they're
which are really, really, really good.
Sure,
there's some amazing Marvel comics with really great writing.
Right.
So like they're good. They're worthwhile. They do also have the Wizard Classic Speedster, which I have no idea who that is. I do not get this reference.
Graham just put if you're listening, right after Kathleen was like, the comics are really, really good. Graham just put up this magic card, the Wizard Classic Speedster, 3 in a red for a legendary 3/3 human hero with first strike and haste. Which
I was just waiting for an inopportune moment to put the Wizard on screen.
Beloved hero, the Wizard. He's dressed in yellow.
Okay. He fought alongside the mightiest heroes in the All-Winners Squad. Okay.
The All-Winners Squad?
You got to let us know in the comments who the Wizard is from, because probably it's from a really good comic book.
Yeah.
The All-Winners Squad? Man, I already hate these nerds.
Okay, so I have, out of morbid curiosity, read some of the very early Ghost Rider, which is super old.
Right. And kind of gritty. Right?
It probably lines up with Wizard era. Read that. Don't read this.
Sure.
Like, the point, I mean, no, don't take, but the point being there's some cool source material to pull from and some beloved deep takes, but I'm just like, I don't know who this is. And even if I do know who this is, I'm like, that's the thing. I know who this is. I mean, actually, wait, but I know who some of these people are, but I'm not like, it's not connecting me other than to me. Yes, I recognize that. Yes, I know who Wiccan is. I know why that's flavored text is there and why they're explaining his power set, but it doesn't go deeper than that.
Yeah, I like, I like the Surfer for what little I read of his comics. I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I wasn't a comics kid,
right?
And yeah, this set was going to have an uphill battle with me. And I'm not sure it crested the hill, in spite of it being pretty fun to play.
Right. I got to give it a little shout out. It's always going to have a bit of a place in my heart because the news of the Marvel set coming out excited my kid enough to want to go play a pre-release for the first time. So I got to go. And
that's great.
I just shouted him and made sure he wasn't impolite in his matches and showed up on time and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Did he have fun?
He did. He had a great time. Yeah, he lost all his matches, but he wants to go back and play again.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Okay,
see,
great.
And I think this is good to remember that for as much as we're like, man, we didn't have Magic Story. I don't care about this. There's some people who are like, no, I like just seeing reference, and I want to play. I've always wanted to try Magic, but I really know Marvel, so this is a great inroad for me. And we should be doing our best to be good ambassadors to the game and welcome these people to it, because oh my God, taste is like the most subjective thing. The only person who lives in your head and has your own comprehension of events is you. So do what you like, but don't be rude to people because they don't like exactly what you like, because you don't have to see through their eyes.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, that's fair.
Waste your time on other things. Argue about albums.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about Magic in 2026 is that if a set doesn't really vibe with me,
just ignore it.
I'm out for, 2 months?
6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, and then I can find something else I enjoy.
All right, so I think we have Reality Fracture coming out next?
Or
The Hobbit? No, The Hobbit.
The
Hobbit coming up next.
Yeah.
Yet another linear storyline.
Yes.
I really
I think
enjoyed...
that could be... Yeah.
I enjoyed Lord of the Rings. I feel like this is a controversial opinion, probably to put it mildly, but Tolkien, I feel, is honorary universes be-in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
Just
D&D
because-
thing, right? Yeah.
Like, you can't look at Magic the Gathering sets from the 90s and tell me they
Didn't read Lord of the Rings.
They didn't read Lord of the Rings and didn't borrow generously from Lord of the Rings.
That every fantasy trope that Magic uses, because it was familiar tropes that we were using and recontextualizing to help marry the mechanics of their Magic. Like, they went to stuff that people that they thought that would play the game would recognize and know, and how much that has feasted upon Lord of the Rings, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
Like
even if it was just like, well, this is really more of a D&D reference.
So like
then-
but that's
yeah,
D&D was
that's
referencing
totally-
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
That's where Gary Gygax got the idea.
Yeah.
That's where Terry Pratchett got the idea. That's where all of these ideas came from, friend.
Right. So you can, if you're a fan of Magic, you have to allow Tolkien and maybe C.S. Lewis to get a pass during their UB sets. It's like, well, is it outside of the normal high fantasy world?
also
right?
not implying the existence of a C.S. Lewis.
No,
No.
not applying it. No, I'm
No.
just
Yeah.
as a contemporary.
yeah.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
be cool.
they hung out.
Hey,
at
if they're working on that, that's sweet. I don't know that they are.
what was the bar they hung out in? The Eagle and Child.
Ooh, great question. I don't know the
I
answer
don't know
to.
the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But the point being, like, I just think that The Hobbit is going to fit very well. Like, there's a card just called Wood Elves. This could be a Magic card. I think it just fits
yeah.
well
No,
with,
it was a magic. Yeah,
with what Magic cards. I think.
That's why I threw it up on screen.
Yeah,
this is a reprint of
Yeah.
a Magic card.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, but the point being, it's just like putting on a pair of pants that fit perfectly. It's like, oh yeah, made for me, right?
I mean, I remember watching the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers, and every time Legolas shot some dude, a friend leaned over to me and said, 2 on first strike. Right? Because there was Elven Archer.
Yeah.
Right? And this was in 2001?
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. 2 on first strike. 2 on first strike.
we vibe. So I'm looking forward to The Hobbit.
We're looking forward to The Hobbit. We're probably not going to be too surprised by what we find there, but we are going to enjoy it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we know what to expect, but we love it.
My concern is that The Hobbit, like the Magic set The Hobbit, might run into the same problem that the 3 goddammit movies did, which is The Hobbit is not a very long story.
Sure.
It's kind of a short book.
I think it's going to be fine. It's a Magic card set. I think we can do Avatar.
These are my biases, and I'm predisposed to like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Right. I have a prejudice here. I am trying to recognize it and work through it, and I hope you'll all be forgiving of me for it. But I'm predisposed to love The Hobbit. It's
I
just,
hadn't seen this Plains yet that Graham put up. That's
neither had I.
incredible.
We're enjoying it. But we also Reality Fracture.
Then Reality Fracture coming. We don't know a ton, but we learned some more back at
Yeah, we're
recent
getting
MagicCon announcement, right?
it's Jace's interdisciplinary Nega Strixhaven.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not what I expected we would get, but there's some great, like, this is the accumulation of a big story arc that's landing, and as a Vorthos, I am absolutely like feral to find out what is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
But I recognize perhaps that is not everyone's perspective.
Well, I mean, like, maybe that is also the inverse of the experience of, like, us looking at Marvel. Right.
Yes.
Is an outsider looking at
Reality
Reality Fracture and being like,
What is this?
what is even happening in Magic the Gathering?
Right.
I played this in grade 9, and I remember that there was this Shivan dragon.
Yeah.
That was
Why
pretty
is Chandra
good.
blue now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe that'll just slide off their minds the way that 12 Thor cards.
Right. There's been a bunch of UB sets in the past 12 months designed to bring all these players in, and then right after The Hobbit, maybe the most successful one, and Marvel Superheroes, maybe they're selling to all kinds of new kids that hadn't played before. They're like, hit them with Reality Fracture, and everyone's like, what do you mean? Like, why? Oh no, I thought I understood what was going on.
There's so many proper nouns. What do you mean that this set is a dark mirror of a previous set?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hadn't even thought of like The Hobbit being possibly the gentlest entry ramp into a fantasy environment. It's where it's like, hey, you know The Hobbit? Your dad read it to you when you were 7 over Christmas. You kind of crack it open every couple of years and read it again to feel good about it. This is going to introduce Magic the Gathering to you in a really gentle way. Welcome to Reality Fracture.
Yeah, maybe let your roommate that you just taught how to play this summer skip Reality Fracture for their own
more
sanity.
Cards for me. More cards.
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
it's for the obviously it's for the veterans. You know, it's for the enfranchised players. Looking forward to all these interesting color pie swaps, and it's kind of like a return of planar chaos. It's got a bit of that vibe.
I'm really looking forward to everyone getting together and beating loot to death with hammers. That on a card is going to be great.
Is that a story beat that we know is happening? Oh, this is just Cameron wishful thinking. Okay, well.
I've got nothing wrong with loot.
All right, and finally, Star Trek. So boldly go.
Okay, so I'm pretty biased.
Right.
Because I worked on creative text for this set.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But I will say that I was raised watching Star Trek, and it's part of the reason that I worked on this set. It is one of my earliest positive memories is watching the original Star Trek with my dad.
Okay.
And then watching as a very young child The Next Generation when that started premiering as well.
Right.
Because he was so excited about it because he'd loved Star Trek as a kid and it was finally being brought back. And so it was sort of like shoved into my eyeballs from a very young age.
Star Trek had this run in, what was it, the 60s? And then it was like...
And then it came back in like the
89
early
or something?
89. And and then we saw it in the early 90s when we were in Canada and we moved to Canada and we could get Canadian TV and my dad was so excited.
But I guess for some Star Trek fans, there was like a 30-year gap or whatever.
Yes,
well, I mean, there have been the films, right?
Yes,
like the motion picture Wrath of Khan.
Okay, I was exposed to Wrath of Khan as a young child. That was not a good idea.
Wrath of Khan might be one of the best films of the 20th century.
It's a great... I shouldn't have watched it when I was 7, Cameron. The dropping in the ear thing. We had big bugs like that in New Zealand. I thought that was just going to happen to me.
Yeah. The part where they go onto the Regula station and have to cut down all the murdered scientists.
Yeah, don't hang out with the kids on the other side of the railroad tracks, Kathleen. They're going to put giant bugs in your ears to eat your brain.
It was not okay. I wasn't allowed to hang out with any other children. But the point being, like...
I mean, Wrath of Khan debatably, I'm not even sure debatably, saved Star Trek.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right? Because like the motion picture...
Banger.
Well, the motion picture was very much like a, hey, are you a deeply enfranchised fan who wants to see a 12-minute tracking shot of the Enterprise?
Right.
My dad, yeah.
Graham says yes. That's the first Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Star Trek the motion picture.
But like, if you're a normal human being and you go into the theater and there's just a camera moving around a spaceship while music plays for 10 minutes, you're going to be like, I'm leaving.
Right.
This is what is happening.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't say anything about it, but I can say that it was put together very lovingly.
Yeah, my concern with the Star Trek set is that it is the Star Trek set that I assume, I don't know, maybe this has been disclosed, but I'm going to recuse you from this conversation. But like motion or TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, Picard, Lower Decks, Strange New Worlds, Academy, Discovery, the animated series, 10-ish films.
Right.
This is a huge amount of stuff.
It's being set up to be another TMNT or a Marvel superhero.
Yeah,
right?
and like
where it has to just be like set of references.
Yeah. I assume like the overlap between Magic fans and Trek fans is probably going to be fairly large.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to have a lot of traction, right? Like I love Star Trek. Give me
right. Maybe at least for us, it'll be a big hit just because so many of us know these references.
Yeah,
right?
I have my favorite ships, right? I want a token of USS Grissom. Like the Oberth class should be an O1 vehicle token that just like has the squee text on it, right? Anytime an effect occurs in the game, or not the squee text.
Oh, the coward? Is that what you mean? Nor and the wary? Is that what you mean? Or squee? Okay,
yeah. Only instead of going into exile and then coming back,
right.
it just explodes, right? Like, you know, an Oberth class science vessel, it shows up, it sits on the battlefield until anyone does anything, then it explodes. Throw it away.
Nice.
And that, like, just even thinking about that gives me a warm feeling.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I would absolutely be the captain of an Oberth class vessel.
I'm glad that you have a headcanon.
They sent 2 of them to fight the Borg at Wolf 359. I don't think they even have phaser strips. They're just like 2 guys in spacesuits with phasers standing on the deck of these 2 science vessels being like, what do you want us to do, man? Sorry.
Well, we're here to observe.
Yeah.
Observe ourselves getting killed.
Yeah.
I can't. It's a set and it's coming out.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Kathleen has no feelings on it.
Nope. No opinions.
That's okay. I'm looking forward to it too. If you would like to have warm feelings, please head on over to patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. That's the best place to support us monetarily. We really appreciate any amount that you can give from the dollar dues in your bank account each month. Thank you so much.
I'm really looking forward to Khan Noonien Singh being the biggest creature in this stack. Or in this set.
Okay.
Khan has to be able to fight a colossal dread maul.
I'm just going to say
one-on-one.
right now, for those of people who might be like trying to like microanalyze my facial expressions. I think it's really important to remember that the way that creative text works is that I actually don't care what the mechanics do to a huge extent.
Yeah.
What I am trying to do in that and what they are going for is a successful thing that can reference mechanics, but also is, respectful to the character and to the artwork and helps tell the feeling of the story and other beats that may be trying to be gotten across, right? Depending on the situation of the card. So I actually, literally, don't remember what any of the cards are or do, but I could tell you some interesting stories about what I was thinking when I was trying to come up with text that is not useful to gameplay analysis whatsoever.
If you have beats that you need to be getting across your battlefield, head on over to cardkingdom.com/LRR and pick up any kind of sweet new singles from 2026 that are available at whatever time you're watching this. That affiliate
Did you say signals on purpose again?
Did I say singles?
You said signals.
Man, I can't do it. I'm unaware of whether the word signal or single is coming out of my mouth. That's just for you. That's just for all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for entering that affiliate code. You can also ask for a button. We don't know what it says right now, but they will give you a button if you tell them we sent you. Finally, Dragon Shield also sponsors this podcast. Thank you, Dragon Shield. Please use code LRRMTG5 when you're checking out from the Dragon Shield website. Get 5% off your order on the best sleeves that can possibly be made out of plastic.
Yeah. Bring your Dragon Shields back up to full power.
That's right.
Auxiliary power to Dragon Shields.
Awesome. I've been Nelson. I was joined today by Kathleen.
I'm here.
And Cameron.
Kaboom.
We had Graham on tech.
Yay.
And I think Heather gets these online.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And that's going to do it for us. See you in the next one.
Bye.